That will be all. This court is adjourned.
Objection!
But the tunnel! The paw prints!
What of them? Helmut is something of a wanderer. Perhaps he just happened across this tunnel one day. Although I couldn't say for certain, I myself cannot wander quite so freely.
That would be quite a coincidence. But I can't prove it's not the case either.
She sure knows how to keep a secret, huh? Kinda wish he'd kicked us in the teeth a little earlier with that.
She was baiting me, waiting for the perfect moment to crush me with that autopsy report. And I fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. You are lead attorney for the defense, correct, Mr. Fender? This is the interim autopsy report in question. I do apologize for the delay.
Yeah, no sweat. Thanks for hooking us up.
The interim report suggests that the cause of death was a stab wound to the neck, inflicted by a sharp blade. Death was instantaneous. Wait a minute, so death was that implies, so wait a minute, that means a single stab is what killed it, but they just kept stabbing? Jesus. My only assumption, like, if the death was instantaneous, then it must have, like, the stab wound must have severed the spinal cord or hit, like, one of the main arteries that are in the neck. But even then, that would still give you, like, a slight moment of, like, well, maybe not.
Yep, this all checks out. Yep.
Mr. Fender, a handshake is not necessary when receiving official court documents, you know. So please feel free to let go of my hand. It's not a holy relic, after all.
Was just trying to be friendly, Your Honor.
Had you lingered a moment longer, the goddess of justice would have spoken to you through my gavel.
All right, I got it.
Nice work, Gavel. Just like we planned it. I did only as you instructed, Eustace, but thank you. This report came from the police. I have no choice but to accept its legitimacy. But if the dog didn't kill Knight, then that takes Canis out of the running. The goddess of justice speaks to me, Mr. Edgeworth, and she is merciful. She tells me that you might yet keep your badge if you will finally abandon this fruitless quest.
Well, what's our move, sir? I think she really means it this time.
What do you think, detective? My answer remains the same, Judge Gavel. I will see my duty done, and I will not be intimidated. Even with how things stand, you still refuse to concede? This may very well be your last chance. Your badge hangs by a thread. Then let it fall if it must. I have something far more important to protect as an associate attorney. My client. The goddess of justice is no doubt saddened by your refusal to accept yet another offer of mercy.
Attaboy, Miles. That's what I like to see. Looks like the defense never rests is really starting to mean something to you. Credit to your old man, though. He's the one who said it first.
My father?
In fact, I could swear I saw Gregory Speared in you for a second there. You said that you've changed since your days in Von Karma's shadow. I didn't believe you at first, but I'm starting to.
Thank you, Fender.
All right, kids. This is where the rubber really hits the road. Put your thinking caps on. It's make or break time. If it's true that Knight was offed with a bladed weapon, does our whole case really fall apart?
A bladed weapon? Of course! There were 5 chisels in Canis' cell when we last looked. A former assassin certainly wouldn't struggle to commit murder with a tool like that. In which case, the weapon that killed Mr. Knight was... Have you quite finished? It would be in your best interest to concede... My turn! Evidence is everything. It may well be my little catchphrase, but it's also true. So the murder weapon was a sharp blade? Then where is it? The guards didn't find it. Why can't you let this go? So what if they didn't find it? What are you driving at? What if I were to tell you that I now know what the real murder weapon was? And it was right under our noses the whole time. Indeed. It was one of Mr. Canis' chisels! What? Overruled. I would advise you to stop bombarding us with your irresponsible half-baked theories, Mr. Edgeworth. You have repeatedly insisted that Mr. Knight was killed in his cell by a dog. I simply go where the evidence takes me, both in the courtroom and at the scene of a crime. If the murder weapon was in fact a chisel, then yes, the murderer could not have been the dog. But that begs the question of what exactly it was we saw in the security footage. Oh yeah, the security footage! How do you explain that, Mr. Smarty Pants? An excellent question. The footage shows the dog jumping on somebody. Mr. Canis' dog jumping up at Knight. The dog attacked Knight, but he didn't kill the man. He didn't? No. Knight was merely knocked out. The dog didn't drag a corpse through the tunnel, but he dragged an alive but unconscious Knight. The real killer was the dog's master.
Oh, I get it. By bringing Knight here, Mr. Canis could finish the job.
And he could definitely use one of his chisels to do it.
Correct. You, Bodhidharma Canis. You're the only one who could have done it.
Objection!
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, you ever get this on your report card? Refuses to listen. Must learn to respect others.
Are you asking me or confessing to what's on yours?
Ah, it is the magical art called projection.
We already searched Mr. Canis' cell from top to bottom, right, Gavel? Yes, we even inspected his chisels, all 4 of them.
There's a 5th one.
There wasn't a single speck of blood.
Hold it! Why, thank you, Your Honor. You have just confirmed my theory.
I have? What exactly do you mean?
The last time we were here, there were 5 chisels, not 4.
Oh yeah, I remember counting them. Definitely 5.
And the one that's missing is...
The small one. The one we thought might be a pocket chisel. Mr. Canis, where'd you hide that chisel?
A pocket chisel? And what use might I have for such a thing? I am rarely allowed to leave my cell.
In which case, he shouldn't have had the chance to dispose of the weapon. You've dug your own grave, Mr. Canis.
You seem to have an idea where this missing chisel might be, Mr. Edgeworth. Would you enlighten us?
For a man who can't leave his cell of his own volition, Canis could have only hidden the chisel here.
Take that!
His dog has it. Mr. Canis is still a prisoner. Despite the comfort he enjoys, he is rarely allowed out of his cell. He could have given the chisel to his dog to leave somewhere. But that would have been far from ideal. He would have no way of guaranteeing where it might end up.
Intriguing. Do go on, Mr. Edgeworth.
Furthermore, this room is the one place where a bladed instrument wouldn't raise an eyebrow. 4 chisels, 5 chisels, who's counting? A fact he took full advantage of.
Ah, the old keep the incriminating evidence close to routine. Classic.
Objection!
But I looked! I searched the whole cell myself, and there's just nowhere he could have hidden it.
Objection!
Oh, I am certain that the murder weapon is here. And that the reason why no one has found it yet is because it was hidden in such an ingenious manner.
Do enlighten us, Mr. Edgeworth. What was my ingenious plan?
Think, Miles. There must be a hiding spot he could make use of. Think about when you came here previously. What are you missing?
He's not showing us out permanently, right?
Let's get out of here. Come on.
Oh. The dog! He hasn't made a sound today! When we were here before, he barked and growled repeatedly. Canis even encouraged him to do so. That must be it! I knew something was off! Oh, the dog's got the tool in his mouth. I can hardly believe it, but I think I know where he hid the murder weapon.
Giving up already. I expected more of you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Hold it!
Hold it! As you should, if you would give me a moment. For this piece of evidence shows where you hid the murder weapon.
Take that!
Is it doggo? Your dog. He seems unusually quiet today.
Oh yeah, unlike last time when...
Mr. Canis, if you would be so kind as to open Helmut's mouth.
Oh, come now, he hasn't barked because he is a well-behaved boy. I had to order him to last time.
Then order him again, this instant!
It's not like we're asking for the world, Mr. Canis. Or do you have something to hide?
If you insist. Come on, Helmut. Open up.
And there we have it. A chisel that small was...
What? Damn it! Stop interrupting me!
A chisel that small was easy enough for a dog of this size to...
What? A chisel in the dog? Why is there a chisel in the dog?
I thought he'd been strangely quiet. I guess his brain has finally caught up.
Eustace, why don't you be a good boy and call forensics? Tell them it's urgent. Okay.
Oh my god, there's not gonna be any blood on it. Oh my god! That's horrifying. Our findings are as follows. Traces of blood were detected on the chisel.
What?
Not such a half-baked theory after all, was it?
All right, so we're on the same page here. This is our murder weapon, yeah?
The forensic evidence cannot be ignored. We have no choice but to concede that this is most likely the case.
Contains traces of blood, hidden by Canis inside his dog's mouth. Has a small bell attached to it.
Mr. Canis, in light of the discovery of the murder weapon, the court demands that you explain yourself.
We found the route your dog took to the holding cells, and now we have the chisel. How do you propose to talk your way out of this one?
You never fail to entertain, Mr. Edgeworth.
Why does he always laugh like that, even when it's not funny?
Poor Helmut. How could they suspect us, You leave me little choice. I shall simply have to share with you the truth. I did not kill anyone. I have grown tired of killing.
Something's not right. Why is he so calm?
Very well. The court will hear Mr. Canis' testimony. If you would be so kind.
Gladly.
Oh no, now I gotta voice this man. Ah, save me! Canis' defense.
Perhaps you might begin by explaining what you believe my motive to have been. I never knew this night. I had no contact with him. No connection whatsoever.
That's a lie.
Given that this is the case, why would I possibly wish him dead? Could it be you're suggesting that it was my canine companion who had the motive instead? Helmut only bares his fangs when I tell him to. I am not so bloodthirsty that I would kill a man I did not know.
I mean, when he puts it that way.
An assassin who only kills his acquaintances. Not the soundest business model, I agree.
My work required me to deal with strangers, of course, but murder for its own sake. That's not my style.
So I need to prove a link between Knight and Canis. I should go over the evidence again and see what I can discover. Well, thankfully I already know.
Hold it!
I'm puzzled by this focus on motive. Aren't you an assassin?
Assassin or not, Mr. Edgeworth, I don't spill blood for nothing.
Do you?
Neither in a professional, nor in a private capacity. That's just not how it's done, is it, boy? No, it's not.
Hold it!
You didn't know who he was. That's quite unlike you, Mr. Canis.
You overestimate me, Mr. Edgeworth. Perhaps you had a harder time putting me in here than I'd realized, but I am no master criminal.
That said, you are no run-of-the-mill prisoner either. You're the fixer, correct? I find it highly unlikely that a man in such a position would have no knowledge of the new detainee at all.
Then you have a rather inflated idea of my position. I have my connections, yes, but I am not all-knowing. That would be my brother Gideon.
The all-knowing!
And I knew nothing of Mr. Knight.
Hold it!
You're an assassin. Since when have you needed a motive?
He's a strange man, isn't he, Helmut? Yes, he is. Is he a fool? A genius? It's so hard to say.
Objection!
Drop the act, Mr. Canis, and answer the question.
No, you will answer mine. Who am I, Mr. Edgeworth? I am the very same person you caught. An assassin, a murderer for hire. Were I one to kill without rhyme or reason, I would still be free to recite sutras in peace out there.
Hold it!
I like that little shift with the dialogue there. That was pretty good. Of course not. But your dog was trained to kill.
What is this man talking about, Helmut? Why would he say such an awful thing about you? He's just a silly man, that's what he is, yes.
Then perhaps he killed the wrong person. That would explain the lack of motive.
Do your precious police dogs attack people willy-nilly? Have some respect, Mr. Edgeworth. If you're going to accuse Helmut of something, at least show us some evidence to back up your claims.
I would if I had any. I really like that. Okay, clearly this is the bad dude, but I like him.
Hold it!
He's an interesting dude. Then you must have done so, didn't you? You ordered Knight's death.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, you'll have to try harder than that. Have you forgotten what I just said? I did not know Mr. Knight. I did not even know that name. If you are going to insist otherwise, then the least you can do is show us some sort of proof. He must show us some proof, mustn't he, Helmut? Yes, he must.
Whether it was Canis or his dog that committed the killing, Knight wouldn't be dead if Canis himself hadn't wanted him to be. So my first order of business should be to prove that Canis and Knight knew each other. Okay, so... This.
Objection!
That's how you knew him. You're getting sloppy, Mr. Canis. You may have trained your dog to clean up your mess, but some things still require a human touch. We found this in the victim's room. It's the record of a game of correspondence chess. What's more, the game depicted matches the game laid out on your board.
What?
The number of possible games had been calculated to be 10 to the power of 120, and that's on the low end.
Wait, so that's 10 times 10, 120 times over. 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. I give up. What? I mean, what do you even call a number that big?
A vanishingly unlikely coincidence. That's what. Now tell us why you killed Knight! Unless that is you would prefer to explain the coincidence?
Well, they do say that truth is stranger than fiction. It is, as you say, a coincidence.
But that's totally impossible. We just proved that.
A coincidence of a different kind, child. I never imagined my correspondent was the victim, you see. And yet here we are. Helmut is as surprised as I am. Aren't you, Helmut? Yes, yes.
Ah.
I suppose there's nothing for it but to finally tell the truth. Boy. The other prisoners had all gone to the yard, you see. There was a show of some sort, I believe. Here I was, minding my own business, when in comes Helmut, dragging a corpse of all things.
What?
I had quite the shock. Not least because the murder weapon was still in the poor fellow's neck. Of course, I was none too keen on becoming a suspect, so I had Helmut take the body to the workshop. Once there, he removed the murder weapon and brought it back to me just as I'd asked.
The dog pulled out the murder weapon in the workshop?
Indeed he did. Removing it here would have made an awful mess after all.
You know something? That makes total sense. Remember what Mr. Sod said, Mr. Edgeworth?
Oh! That huge black dog had sunk his terrible teeth into the victim's throat. What? What did you just say? It was hellish, utterly hellish. That beast, that awful beast, he killed him. I see. So what Mr. Sort actually saw was Helmut removing the murder weapon then?
Precisely. I can't say I wasn't a little disappointed that he was spotted, of course. Silly boy, it's not like you to slip up like that, is it now? And there you have it. That is about all there is to tell.
But that doesn't explain who the murderer was. I mean, you just said the dog pulled the murder weapon out of his neck. The dog couldn't have been the murderer then.
I did not kill the man. At most, I am responsible for the removal of the weapon. Now, will that be all? Poor Helmut is growing restless.
Objection!
Sorry, but if you could entertain us for just a little longer, Mr. Canis.
Fender?
No offense, Palio, but I don't think you've quite told us everything. I'm sure we'd all like to know why you thought you needed to pull the chisel out in the first place.
He's right. It makes sense that he would move the body to avoid suspicion. But Canis had no reason at all to recover the murder weapon.
So the mute one isn't as dumb as I thought.
Please answer the question, Mr. Canis.
It was because of the bell. The one attached to the chisel and the one around Helmut's neck
The bell?
have a very distinctive design, if you will.
Of course. They were something of a trademark of yours, were they not?
I don't get it. How does that even work?
Bodhidharma Canis, the blind butcher. His appearance was always announced by the sound of bells. Ah, for doth the bell toll. The last sound his victims would ever hear.
You flatter me. Though it's been some years since you last saw one of them, you remember them well.
Your knife and its attached bell were one of the pieces of evidence seized in our case against you.
Yes, it was but one of my bells. One of only two in existence.
Just two? I think I fucked up his voice there for a minute.
Two, and only two. One for my knife, and one for my beloved Helmut, exquisitely crafted, utterly unique. My ears are my guide, after all. And I must be able to use my tools precisely. Of course, as you said, the knife has long since been taken from me.
Only two such bells exist. One is attached to Helmut the dog, the other to Canis's knife, which was seized by the police during his arrest. Oh. The other which was seized by the police during his arrest. So, whoever took... Oh! Okay. Alright. One of the guards... No. Somebody took one of the outfits of the guards, pretended to be said one of the guards, got the bell out of evidence, and took that opportunity to turn one of the chisels into a murder weapon by using the bell. And since the dog heard the bell noise, he was trained to retrieve the thing because of, like, that's how they do things. So we just need to find the person that pretended to be a freaking guard.
When Helmut brought the body to my cell, I was rather surprised to hear a familiar sound. At first I was sure that my knife had been used to do the deed. But no, a chisel. An ordinary chisel.
It's certainly no assassin's blade.
Nonetheless, the bell would have suggested my involvement. Compounding the matter is the fact that I am the only person in this prison permitted to use such tools. It was clear that I would become the prime suspect. And so the chisel had to be removed and hidden.
Hold it!
You still claim that all you did was have the dog move the body, that you had nothing to do with the killing.
How could I? I told you, the chisel is not mine. You need not take my word, Mr. Edgeworth. Why not have it checked for fingerprints?
Oh. Eustace! Huh? Me? But I don't know how to check for prints.
Get forensics.
Oh, right! Sure thing! We got him! Fingerprints! They're Mr. Knight's. And Mr. Canis's.
Nope. Just Mr. Knight's. Oh, and forensics said there's no sign of any prints having been wiped off.
Oh. Only Knight's fingerprints. This isn't good.
Should I get them to check again?
Now do you see? I have never so much as touched that chisel. Helmut carried it in his mouth. That is all. Therefore, any prints must belong to whoever had it last. So the murder weapon belonged to the victim. Ooh, that's not helpful. As I said, I have not touched the chisel. Therefore, I cannot be the killer. Or do you wish to suggest otherwise?
I've got nothing to counter with! But what could this mean? Is he not the killer after all? Is he actually telling the truth? No, he can't be.
I'm sure this goes without saying, Mr. Edgeworth, but if you do not find a solution to your current predicament, and quickly, I will have little choice but to relieve you of your badge. Even my patience has a limit, and I will not tolerate you throwing this investigation into chaos. Am I clear?
You've done it now, sir. She's serious.
I hate to admit it, but the fingerprints turn everything on its head. Without more evidence, I'm back to square one.
Wait! Something doesn't add up. A few things, actually. Kay? What would Mr. Knight have a needed for chisel for?
You can do a lot with a chisel, child. Break out of prison, for one.
Alright then, how'd he get it in here? There's no way the guards would let him bring a sharp tool in him with him, right, Mr. Edgeworth? Hey! To Mr. Edgeworth! You can't stand there hemming and hawing just because of a little setback. The important thing is find the truth, you know? It doesn't matter how we get there. As long as we save Simeon in the end. We can't give up now, or ever.
Yeah, what she said. I'll second that. You won me around with that Kay. I'm not tempted to offer you a job for real. It's like I said, the defense never rests. Or rather, like your pop said, what do you think lies at the heart of those words, Miles? Any guesses?
The heart of those words?
It's like this. As defense attorneys, our client's fate rests on our shoulders. We're the only ones it can turn to. Simeon's our client, and we're the only ones who can save him. So, we can't rest, not while he's counting on us. I'm not about to turn my back on your old man's legacy. Are you?
I'm an associate with the defense now. No. I'm an associate with my father's firm. That's the role I have chosen, and that means that if I fail to save my client, I have failed in my duties. I will honor my father's vision and save Simeon Saint. No matter what setbacks I face, I cannot admit defeat. If one path is blocked, I must simply find another.
There we go! That's the Miles Edgeworth I know. Now let's find that new path forward. We can start by trying to figure out how Mr. Knight brought that chisel into the prison.
Well, fuck, he may have done it. Well, no. It might have been the chess set. The chisel was in the chess set, possibly. Right. How would a knight manage to bring a chisel in here?
Take that!
It would have to be the chess set. Usually, it wouldn't be possible to bring a metal object into this facility undetected.
Because of the security gates, right?
Correct. But we already know that checks at one of the gates haven't been gates hasn't been entirely thorough of late. Namely, the gate at the entrance to the detention center.
That gate is only used to scan people. Any items they bring into the facility are only subjected to a cursory check.
Are you telling me that the chess set wasn't put through the metal detector?
It should have been. Alas, it seems the guards have grown a little lax in that regard of late.
Knight took advantage of this little oversight and had Mr. Saint bring him the chisel. Hidden inside his pocket chess set!
That does answer one of our questions. And it suggests that the chisel was indeed Mr. Knight's and not Mr. Canis's.
I underestimated how badly voicing Bodhidharma Karma was gonna fuck me up there. However, we still have one rather pressing problem to address. That of the security footage in which Knight is attacked by a dog. How does one explain it if Mr. Canis was not the culprit?
But then, how do you explain his prints not being on the murder weapon? This one's a real three-piper.
The court too finds itself wanting for a satisfactory explanation.
Wait, sir! I think it might be time to show you another one of my secret weapons. Introducing secret weapon number 4, Little V.
What? What sort of name is that, Detective?
I came up with it myself, sir.
Little VCR? Little TV! Oh! I like it. Good name, Gumshoe. Good on you, buddy.
Anyway, you can use it to analyze the video footage. An excellent idea. Perhaps then you might finally see that I am telling the truth.
Who knows if there's anything to be found. But it has to be worth a try.
All right. Want me to talk you through how to use it, sir?
Seeing as I'm not exactly familiar with video analysis techniques, perhaps I should hear him out. Yeah. If you could run me through its functions, Detective, that would be most appreciated.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it kind of fun? It's kind of funny at this point, like, I can do Gumshoe's voice regularly without fucking up my throat now. When at the beginning, I tormented myself by doing that voice.
Now I can just do it naturally. It's just kind of natural to me now. It's kind of weird. Hell, there was a time at work I kind of sounded like this and I threw all my coworkers off. Their expressions were kind of funny, not gonna lie. So basically, you just gotta do what you always do. Examine anything that catches your eye. And
I can examine things with Y. I see.
Next up, see those controls at the bottom of the screen? So, the panels on the left and right let you rewind or fast forward. And you can use the middle one to pause. Get used to those and you're golden, sir.
It seems I can also press right bumper to fast forward or left bumper to rewind the footage. And I can press A to pause. Good. Then I know exactly what to do. Well, probably I gotta experiment a little bit.
Now, when the video is paused, you can go to the previous frame with left bumper or the next frame with right bumper. Or just use the same control panels I showed you earlier. Lastly, I better explain how to zoom in. Just line up the old cursor with the area you want to take a closer look at. Use the panel on the bottom right, and Little V will do the rest. It's got those 2 expanding arrows right on it. Can't miss it, sir.
It would appear I can zoom in by pressing X, too.
Ooh, by the way, even when you're zoomed in, you can still examine stuff just like in regular view.
I hope this comes back. This is such a cool idea. Oh, this is a cool mechanic. Gumshoe, I love you, man.
But by the way, even when you're zoomed in, you can still examine stuff just like in regular view. Also, you can make use of previous and next frame to get a good look at what's really happening. Only thing you can't do when you're zoomed in is play the footage, so there's that.
I see. And how do I zoom out again?
Just use the panel in the lower right again, sir. See how it's gone from expanding to collapsing arrows on there? That's because you're zoomed in. And that about sums it up. Now let's fire Little V up for real. Remember, just examine anything that catches your eye and you'll do fine.
The footage from Knight's holding cell. Other than the victim being attacked by that dog, I can't see what else it might show us. Well, as I've stated before, there is a couple of theories in my head right now. There's 2 details. 1, the shape that attacked Mr. Knight is too small to be Helmut. Helmut's a big dog. The figure that attacked Mr. Knight is smaller than that. Next, just because it is black, it's a black shape, kind of like how Helmut is. My theory is there was a detail that I think Mr. Sawit brought up. Mud baths, like the sort of mud therapy. I'm betting you, if it's what I think it is, it's the polar bear, Mr. Carcerato's polar bear, after a mud bath, or the mud therapy. another reason that confirms this theory is whenever we saw Mr. Carceredo and he was doing his, like, lifting weights and all that stuff and boxing and all that stuff, what was clung to his chest the entire time? His polar bear. I'm just saying, it's a theory. And that's my theory. But I suppose we're wrong. What could we be looking at instead? Could the person in the footage be someone other than Knight? And if so, could whatever is attacking them be something else too? I should keep both questions in mind while reviewing the footage.
You never know what you're gonna see once you start looking at things up close. Check every detail, sir. You'll find something, I'm sure.
Alright, let's give this a try. What in this footage seems odd? Let's see. Here we go. Okay. Okay, zoom in. Hold on. There we go. Alright. Oh, right. Oops. Oh my god, it is! Wait. That's... I suspect we may have made a critical error of judgment. What we're looking at here is no dog. This animal is... a bear. That's not a dog. It's a bear.
What? So the paw prints from the photo I took.
Well, not canine, but ursine. Ursine. Yes! It's all coming together.
A bear? So could that mean...
Yes, I think it could. After all, who else do we know is such a pet? And if we were mistaken about the creature in the footage, it's not inconceivable that we were mistaken about the person in the footage, too.
Maybe there's something in there that could prove it, sir. Something that shows it wasn't Nat.
You're right. We can't see the person's face, which means a direct identification is out of the question. But perhaps there's something that can tell us who they are indirectly.
Indirectly? Like the mirror?
Yes. It's certainly worth a look. Alright. Alright, so... okay. Oh! Oh! Ooh! Yo! The figure is reflected in the mirror here, too. Hmm? Is that a hat?
Say, doesn't that look like the hats the guards wear, sir? Oh, jeez, is that what I think it is?
Have there been any reports of one of the animals attacking a guard recently?
Not that I heard of.
So this may not be a guard at all, but somebody dressed as one. Oh, the stolen guard uniform. Perhaps this might shed a little light on the matter of the hat.
Take that!
So, no guards have reported being attacked by an animal as far as we know. But we did hear about a guard's spare uniform being stolen. Could the person in the security footage perhaps be someone disguised as a guard? Someone attempting to escape without being noticed.
A guard disguise? I guess it might work. Wait, were we just talking about someone?
Yeah, we were indeed. Someone who seems to have successfully made his escape. We had assumed that it was Knight in the security footage.
Well, it was his cell. It's hardly a crazy theory.
Perhaps, but now that we know about the hole under the bed, it is no longer the only possibility. Whoever had access to the tunnel could very well be the one caught on camera.
And who is that, Mr. Edgeworth? Would you care to tell the court who you believe this person to be?
Well, I mean, it would have to be Carceredo. He's the only one that could have done it. The person in the security footage is... Mr. Carceredo.
Take that!
I believe I know who our god in disguise is. It is none other than Rocco Carceredo. The prisoner who recently escaped from this facility. I'm confident it's him because he was assigned a polar bear cub as his companion.
But the bear in that video is all black!
Indeed, and we have evidence that explains why. The evidence that explains the polar bear's dark fur is... mud pack treatments.
Take that!
Recall, if you will, Mr. Frank Salt's testimony.
That's the rubber glove I dropped.
Would you care to explain why it's so dirty?
Oh, of course. That mud's from one of the pet treatments I've been practicing. I was giving one of the animals a mud pack right when the incident happened.
I see. Around what time would this have been?
Let's see. The show had already started, so around 9 a.m. perhaps. The thing is, the more mud I applied, the more in the zone I got, and the darker the animal's fur became. There's no trance quite like the trance one enters when one slathers an animal with thick black mud.
I'm glad I paid attention. While the circus performance was underway, he was giving one of the animals a mud pack treatment.
And that animal could have been...
Indeed, our polar bear.
Overruled.
Mr. Edgeworth, your latest assumption simply introduces yet another contradiction. The footage from the security camera...
Silence! I fully understand, Your Honor, and your doubts are entirely justified. Mr. Salt mentioned applying the mud pack while the circus performance was underway. And this does indeed introduce a new contradiction concerning the security footage.
It does?
Yes. Let's put it this way. When would you expect the footage to have been recorded, Kay?
If it was taken right after he applied the mud pack treatment, it should have been around 9 a.m.
In which case, something isn't right about the footage.
Really? And what's that?
What new contradiction does the security footage introduce relative to when it was recorded? Oh my god. The time!
Take that!
Mr. Salt said he administered the treatment at around 9 a.m. In which case, the security footage should also show a time of around 9. However, the timestamp says 6:42 a.m.
What the?
On the day of the murder, the prisoners all went out to the yard to watch the circus. All except 3. Mr. Canis, who remained in his cell in maximum security. Mr. Salt, who was administering a mud pack treatment in the workshop. And Rocco Casareto, who had been awaiting that precise moment to put his escape plan into action. I believe he entrusted the bear to Mr. Salt before entering the tunnel. And the bear then slipped out of Mr. Salt's grasp to run after its human. Oh, it wasn't a polar bear attack that happened. The polar bear jumped onto his owner because, that's my human, you know. Mr. Salt would have then left the workshop to pursue the bear, at which point he saw Mr. Canis' dog retrieving the murder weapon from Knight's body. It all fits perfectly except for the security footage, which should have been recorded from around 9 a.m. However, the timestamp is 3 hours off.
But why would the timestamp be wrong?
Detective, I would like you to have the security camera examined right away, please.
Oh, I'm back, sir. I just talked to the guards and, seems like the time codes can slip on these, cameras if they lose power.
What?
They're pretty old, sir. Guess the clock stops when the power's off.
Which would mean the power was off for approximately 3 hours at some point. Oh, wow.
That's not all, sir. You remember how Knight denied stealing the keys? No one believed him, considering, well, you know, seemed kind of like the only suspect. Turns out, that wasn't all he said. He also said he was knocked out cold, just like the other guy.
Which may not necessarily have been a lie.
Darlings, there you all are. How goes the investigation? Is there anything I can do to help things along?
Actually, there might be something we can do for you, Warden Lagarde. The escapee, Mr. Carcereto, I believe he may still be on the premises. He is disguised as a guard. Here's the proof, should you need it. We're reasonably certain that the person captured on this tape is our man. And if I am correct, he might even be right here in this room with us now.
Hey, Mr. Carcereto would have been wearing a bracelet, right?
Yes, a bracelet that could easily be hidden under the sleeves of his stolen uniform. Furthermore, the doors out of the prison proper don't have those sensors that detect the bracelets installed. So if he avoided doors with sensors, he could simply wait for an opportunity to finally make his escape.
Well, yes, I suppose he could. He'd just have to avoid the workshops and the cells and... Oh my. He's one of you, isn't he? He's right here now. Look, it's Teddy.
Hey, buzz off! Get your mitts off of me, you big palooka!
Thank you, Teddy. Very kind of you to confirm our suspicions.
Dang it, kid, if it wasn't for you, I'd...
What a thing it is to be loved. Mr. Carcereto. I'm almost envious.
Guards, apprehend this man.
A moment, if you will. I have some questions for our would-be escapee. If we are to learn the truth, I will need to speak with him. With your permission, of course.
I can hardly say no now, can I?
Well, come on, then. Hit me with your best shot.
Mr. Carcereto's escape route led directly into Knight's cell. So it's highly possible he has something to offer. Tell me what you were doing on the day Mr. Knight's body was discovered. All right. We got ya, palooka. Actually, to be fair, you're the palooka. Also, can I just say that polar bear is freaking adorable?
So it's you guys, huh? You're the ones who found my secret getaway tunnel. You know how long it took me to dig that freaking thing? I had me a guard's uniform, a whole dog, and a plan in place, so I went for it on the day you found the guy. But then this little guy just had to come right after me. The sack of fur was covered in mud, too. I had to go back to our cell. I would have gotten away with it if somebody had an off night and brought you bums down here.
You claim to have dug that tunnel just now. How exactly did you do it?
Oh, used everything I could get my hands on. See? Hammers, spoons, you name it. Spent every dime I had on this cockamamie fix-it. And what do I get to show for it now, huh?
Do not be disheartened, friend. Tomorrow is another day.
There's an outside chance Mr. Carcereto and Knight met face to face just before Knight's death. I should see what other details I can extract from him. Well, here we go.
Hold it!
This is satisfying.
Shut up! Who are you telling to hold it?
The tunnel is it.
You don't know nothing. You don't know what I had to do. Had to come crawling to the fixer muck. Had to grovel and kowtow day after day every day. Yeah, you gotta give me back the hours, huh? The days, the months.
I can't get a word in edgewise.
You should have never stuck your nose in my tunnel. Never.
God damn, trying to press this guy is... Whew. But... Ugh.
Hold it!
So the tunnel was all your own work?
Every inch. You see anybody else in my cell when you was there, hmm?
That's quite an effort, even for an athlete.
Yeah, now that I think of it, that is an insane amount of digging for one guy.
Yeah, well, you don't even know the half of it, kid.
This man was trying to pull a Shawshank Redemption and failed miserably.
But it ain't like I had a choice. Trust nobody and don't get caught. Them's the rules that cons gotta live by.
Huh. You know, the rules of being a great thief are pretty similar.
Okay, I'd rather you didn't start sympathizing with the suspect.
I was just joking, Mr. Edgeworth.
It ain't no stinking joke to me. You punks owe me.
No, I don't.
Hold it!
The uniform. Was that from the Fixer too?
Uh-huh. Sure was. Thought he had something on one of the guards. Had the guy swipe it from a pal's locker.
And were you wearing it when you were crawling through the tunnel?
Yep, then it got dirt on it. Had to hold on to it till I got to the holding cell. But once I was out of there and all dressed up, opening up the cell door should have been a piece of cake. There we go, I think. Spring and beckons, and then the furball there jumps at me.
Which would be the moment captured on camera. I see. I'd be grateful if you could add that to your testimony.
Once I was out of that tunnel and all dressed up, opening the cell door should have been a piece of cake.
Hold it!
Opening the cell door should have been a piece of cake, you say?
Sure, everything seems easy after dragging yourself through a hole in the ground.
And you are familiar with the layout of the detention center, even though you live in the prison?
Why wouldn't I be? It ain't like I've never been there before.
If he's familiar with the detention center, then he'd surely be aware that unlike the doors in the main prison, the holding cell doors are locked with actual keys. And I'm sure Mr. Carcerator would have needed that particular piece of evidence to make his escape.
Hold it!
When was it that you realized you were being pursued?
Right when I'd gotten out of the tunnel. Right when I thought I was home free. Ugh.
You didn't notice anything before that? When you were in the tunnel, perhaps?
Nah, he wasn't around. I made sure of it. I knew the little guy would have been all over me like a rash if he had been. I was so close I could smell it. And then there he was, the little bum.
Hey, do you think you're being a little mean to your friend? Poor Teddy.
Mean nothing. He rumbled me last time and now he's rumbled me again. Kids all over me. What am I supposed to do? Coming after me yesterday was bad enough.
Hold it!
Yeah, but he loves you, dude. You didn't consider trying to escape with Teddy?
What if I coulda? But all that mud would have given us away. Chances to break out of the slam, but don't exactly grow on trees, pal. When one comes along, you gotta do it right.
Foiled by the one who loves him most. It's almost tragic. There's an outside chance Mr. Carcerator and Knight met face to face just before this murder. I should listen carefully to each of his statements and look over the evidence we have. You have the keys, don't you?
Objection!
You claim that leaving the holding cell would have been a piece of cake, as you put it.
Yeah, you got a problem with that? Because we can make it a problem if you catch my drift.
Even once you had reached Mr. Knight's cell, you still had another door to contend with. How exactly did you plan on opening it?
Look,
Mr. Carcerato, I posit that leaving the cell would have been a piece of cake only because you had the key.
I don't got no stinking key.
You know, the funny thing is I was fully expecting, like, as a boxer, he was going to try to pull a Dempsey roll as one of his animations, but I have yet to see it. He has a dodge, though, but no Dempsey roll. Though I imagine that would probably be a bit too hard to pull off, art-wise.
I, didn't need one. It was a piece of cake because the door was open. I walked right out.
Objection!
Yes, I suppose Knight's cell was vacant by that point. There would have been no reason to lock it. And it was indeed unlocked when I went to examine it for myself. So perhaps when you'd finally succeeded today, it truly was unlocked because it was after the murder. But you had attempted to escape previously.
Yeah, the security footage shows when you tried and failed because Teddy caught you.
Which was during the circus performance, before the body was discovered. The holding cell was still locked at that time because no one knew that Knight had been killed yet. Therefore, you must have had the key to his cell on you. Without it, your escape would not have been possible.
Are you saying? Could he really have?
I believe he could, yes. The theft of the keys was, in fact, perpetrated by none other than Mr. Carcereto. He is the one who attacked the guard. Holy shit, that is haunting. That is legitimately haunting to look at. But not just the god. Knight, too. All to gain possession of the god's keys.
It wasn't me, you lousy bum! I didn't even know this guy, Knight. I didn't even know this Knight guy.
Objection!
After you stole the keys, you went back to your cell to avoid suspicion. And then you waited for the perfect moment to escape. A moment when the prison would be almost deserted. That's right. The moment of the show. Just before the discovery of the body. Unluckily for you, that particular attempt was thwarted by your furry friend.
Hey. So, you got proof, genius? This ain't your win yet, nah. Knight knocked the guard out of the count, and everybody knows it.
Objection!
Well.
Don't play games with me. Knight was as much a victim as the guard in this case. As a matter of fact, I have proof that Knight had been attacked in his cell. It would have to be like the wiped floor.
I was right!
Sorry, people are gonna laugh at me for having like just. Sorry, my brain just. We found traces of Knight's blood on the cleanly wiped floor of his cell. What could possibly explain such a thing other than him having been attacked? And it was you who attacked him! You ambushed the both of them and stole the keys!
Why, yada? What's with you, huh? That newspaper wiped that blood up good. Ain't no way you should have found it.
You dumbass.
Okay, but why did you think you had to wipe it up anyway?
If they checked Knight in the guard's hands, they would have seen those two never came to blows. But that blood would give up the whole game. Ain't no way they don't figure there was a third man in the ring. Plus, once they start sniffing around on the floor, they find a tunnel in a heartbeat.
So you wiped out the blood to buy yourself a little more time, so you could wait for a better opportunity. Sadly, the opportunity you sought wasn't good enough to get you clear of the prison, it seems. Now, hand over the keys!
And the key. Kale, by a lot, stinking, bum. Fine, you want keys? Here, I hope you choke on them.
Hey, we got the key!
Overruled.
Oh,
Wait a moment. If Mr. Carcereto here had the keys.
indeed, Your Honor. Your theory relies on Knight having used the keys he allegedly stole to escape his cell. That was the only way he would have been able to enter Mr. Saint's cage and be moved to the workshop. Unfortunately for you, we now know that that theory cannot possibly be true. No!
Guess this changes things up a bit, yeah? Now the only person who could have moved Knight's body is the one person who knew about that tunnel.
No! You gotta be freaking...
Mr. Carcereto, you're under arrest. Come quietly now, pal.
Wait, you got the wrong guy. I didn't do nothing. Alright, fine. I knocked those two chumps out, and I stole the keys. But after that, I went right back to my cell and waited for my moment. Next time, I went to Knight's cell. There was nobody around, and I mean nobody. Plus, his body was found in the workshop. You think I just managed my way in there or something? I couldn't even gotten out of my cell.
Indeed. You only had the key to Knight's cell. You couldn't have left your own cell back in the prison. But Mr. Canis's dog could.
What?
It was not you, but Helmut, who moved the body from your cell to the workshop.
I get it now. You're saying he wasn't the only gun in this conspiracy.
Indeed. One can easily imagine that Mr. Carcereto and Mr. Canis might have worked together. Mr. Carcereto could have killed Knight and dragged him back to his cell. And then Mr. Canis's dog took him from there to the workshop. There are no restrictions on the animal's movements within the prison. Movement between the detention center and the prison proper, however, is tightly controlled. There was only one possible route, and only you could have taken advantage of it, Mr. Carcereto.
How can you be so sure? Maybe there's more of them and you just don't know.
Something tells me that digging even a single tunnel was arduous enough.
Well, I mean, you got that right. You try scraping more than one hole in the dirt with a spoon. Lucky for me, I didn't have to dig the whole way. Somebody already did a bunch of the work for me.
What? 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 You didn't dig the entire tunnel yourself?
Nope. Found it when they put me in that cell.
What?
Ran all the way from there to the well in the yard. Already.
The well in the yard. I fucking knew that there was something suspicious about that damn well!
Even looked down the well and checked from there. It was the same tunnel, alright. I just made good on what somebody else already started.
Then what was the original tunnel for?
Who knows? You're the one with all the answers, pal. Maybe somebody else tried to break out.
Oh, or maybe the animals dug it. Like to get water from the well or something.
I've heard of more plausible scenarios than that in B-grade movies, Kay.
Well's dry, kid. Ain't no water to be had down there. Though, come to think of it, a smell. Yeah, it always smelled kinda nice down there.
Nice?
Gee, I don't know. Smelled sort of like dessert, I guess.
The cakes again. These freaking cakes! Smell like dessert, huh? A sweet scent. That sounds very familiar. Where have we come across a sweet scent before?
Take that!
Mr. Knight's body. Detective Gumshoe noticed a sweet smell when we were examining Knight's body. With the help of a police dog, we followed the scent of the body and traced its route back through the prison. And that, Mr. Carcereto, was how we found your tunnel. Could that same sweet scent be what you noticed coming from the well?
Very clever, Mr. Edgeworth. You mean to suggest that this is evidence of the body having been moved through the tunnel?
I do. Furthermore, Mr. Carcereto, you are the only person who could have done it. Nobody else had access.
You have our thanks, Mr. Carcereto. Truly. Finally, the truth comes into view. Now, unburden yourself. It is time. Confess your role in this tragic incident.
What? You ain't pinning this on me!
I'm glad to see that we are finally in agreement, Your Honor.
Oh, if only we were, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Carcereto may have been an accomplice, but not of Mr. Canis. No, he was working with Mr. Knight.
Hold it!
What? What do you mean?
I do not believe that he moved Mr. Knight's body. Instead, I believe that he lent Mr. Knight the use of the keys he stole.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me!
Granted, it seems likely that he attacked Mr. Knight. But that doesn't necessarily mean that Mr. Knight was knocked unconscious as a result. And what if he wasn't? What if he and Mr. Carcereto had reached a certain agreement?
What kind of agreement exactly?
Mr. Knight was plotting an escape for which he required a means of leaving his cell. And here was that precise means, in the form of the keys Mr. Carcereto had just stolen from the guard. Mr. Carcereto himself would need to pass through Mr. Knight's cell in order to effect his own escape. Mr. Knight needed only to shout and alert the guards, and Mr. Carcereto's plans would be ruined. And so, the two struck a deal.
Whoa, lady, the only striking I do is with my fists.
My. Still you deny it?
So, we're agreeing that we still disagree.
She's doing everything she can to say that Simeon did it. Then again, she's a prosecutor, so...
Mr. Knight had Mr. Carcereto unlock his cell so that when Mr. Saint arrived, he could escape into the cage. Mr. Saint was then able to move him into the prison proper just as planned.
Aha! And then he took Mr. Knight into the workshop and did the dirty deed.
Objection!
Were neither of you listening? The scent on Knight's body proves that it was taken through the tunnel. It was moved from his cell to the...
Perhaps if you would let me finish, Mr. Edgeworth. I am not denying that Mr. Knight's body was moved through the tunnel.
Then what are you driving at? Is this a trick question?
As you say, Mr. Edgeworth, the sweet scent shows the route the body took. However, it did not enter the tunnel from Mr. Knight's cell.
Huh? Then how did it get down there?
There is another possibility. One you seem to have overlooked.
Give me a second. Oh. The well. Oh.
The well in the yard. Could a body not have entered the tunnel from there?
The well in the yard? Oh yeah, that thing! But it's locked.
Mr. Saint did not take the cage to the workshop. He took it outside. There, he killed Mr. Knight and threw his body down the well. Mr. Canis's dog then dragged Mr. Knight's body here to his owner's cell from the bottom of the well. On that note, I would ask you to recall something. What was happening in the yard at the approximate time of the body's discovery?
The circus show, right? Regina and Simeon were performing for everyone. Wait. Simeon!
Ah, indeed. And so you see how it must also have been him who disposed of the body.
Judge Gavelle
Is a truly formidable opponent. She so effortlessly adjusted her theory to fit the facts.
I propose that Mr. Knight was taken to the yard, not the workshop. And as we have established, Mr. Saint was off stage for 15 minutes. Ample time to throw the body down the well. I am sure you will agree.
Objection!
Well, first off, we'd have to find some bloodstains down there, wouldn't we? Your deduction is impressive, Your Honor. However, even supposing that Knight's body was indeed thrown down the well, you cannot conclusively say that it was during the show. It could have happened at a different time.
Overruled!
My sympathies, Mr. Edgeworth, but it simply could not have.
What?
Mr. Carcereto was using the tunnel at around the time the show began. Mr. Carcerato, did you happen to trip over a corpse while you were down there?
No, place is clean.
If the body had been at the bottom of the well before the show began, Mr. Carcerato could have seen it. However, he saw no such thing. Which makes it somewhat difficult to support your theory. Furthermore, Mr. Knight's body was discovered in the workshop after the show. In summary, the body must have been thrown down the well and moved to the workshop. Oh no. At some point during the show. Tell me, who else could have done that but Mr. Saint?
No!
What do we do, Mr. Edgeworth?
If the body did indeed enter the tunnel from the well, things don't look good for Mr. Saint. Still, Your Honor, your theory is still just that, a theory. And I posit that you lack the evidence to back it up.
I concede that for the moment, I do not.
May I suggest that we investigate the yard again?
Very well. May the goddess of justice go with you.
Now then, to the yard. Perhaps we can finally put this case to rest. What? What's that sound?
Yikes! Is there a fire?
Did somebody else escape?
Should we maybe skip town too?
Darlings, please, there's nothing to be alarmed about. By which I mean that's not an alarm, it's the dinner bell.
Oh, thank God.
Although I suppose it is rather alarming if you aren't used to it. It certainly scared the heck out of me.
My God, we needed some levity.
I'm so sorry, Sweet Pea. I hope you can forgive us. All right, you two, back to your posts. Chop chop.
I don't know why I clapped there. I think I got too into character there for a minute.
And as for you, Rocco Carcerato, it's time you went back to your room.
Yeah, fine, I get the picture. Come on, Teddy, we're out of here.
Warden Lagarde, we'd like to take one more look at around the yard now.
Oh, darlings, don't you have homes of your own to go to? Visiting hours are over, I'm afraid. Tomorrow?
No, it's imperative that we investigate it right away.
I think we've had quite enough excitement for one day, don't you? Murderers, escapees, so eventful. It's time our guests went home to better buys, isn't it? Yes, yes it is. Come on now, darling, don't make me bore you with all that I am the warden, this is an order nonsense. Warden Lagarde is right. Her word is law here, and we must respect her wishes. Mr. Edgeworth, your investigation of the yard will have to wait until tomorrow. You may keep your badge for now. The matter of your standing can wait. Damn it! I bid you all good day. Bye.
No bye from Muses?
What are you waiting for, kittykins? Off you go.
Fine. At least there is a tomorrow for me. Judge Gavelle believes that Knight's body was dropped down the well, and then taken through Mr. Carcerato's cell to the workshop. But is that truly the case? Do the facts really support her theory? She also seems to believe Mr. Saint had to be the one to move the body. But was he really the only one with the opportunity to do so? We'll have to find out tomorrow.
Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, tomorrow's another day. We'll figure out a way to save Simeon. I know we will.
Yes, we will. I will prove that Mr. Saint is innocent. Beyond a shadow of a doubt. Even with breaks, that fucks up my throat. Actually, I know it fucked up my throat. It was voicing Bodhidharma Karma. I was voicing Bodhidharma Karma. Okay, so this time we got to see some new stuff. We got to see Little V, which, oh my god, I love that as a game mechanic. That is so cool. I kind of hope that I really hope that pops up more again, because that was so good. Okay, so we know Mr. Carcerado dug part of the tunnel. He dug half of it. We don't know who dug the other half, and the tunnel is connected to the well. Interesting. Very, very interesting. But this brings up something very important. Did Simeon have something to do with the actual murder? That's gonna be fun to figure out. But until then, I'm ending it there because I need a break. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see all of you next time.